I'm sure some of you that have been following me over the years are wondering why I'm putting the outro of my videos, in the front. You can't believe how many comments I get. People say, Kent, do you have a website? Hey, Kent, where do you get that thing that you're showing? And it's very obvious that people do not watch the whole video. They don't see the end of the video where I say, hey, I have a website. It's called Mercedessource.com. So in the future, I'll be putting this at the front so people will not be confused. You'll notice there's no ads from YouTube on this video. And you'll say, man, that's great. I don't have to click through those dumb ads. Well, I feel the same way, so I'm not going to do it in this video. But there's some way I have to get some compensation for the effort that I put in these videos. And if you're watching this video, you enjoy what you're seeing, then I ask that you consider buying parts and videos on my website. Now today we're going to talk about this Airmatic strut right here. It's getting ready to go into this W212, and you might be thinking, well, Ken, how do you know that Airmatic strut is bad? Well, this is how I know it's bad. This is one of my recent tools that I designed and that I build here in my shop. And what I did is I brought the car into the shop, I hooked this up, and sure enough, I was able to determine a very, very slow leak in the front right strut. So this is getting replaced today. If you have an Airmatic car, you might want to consider getting one of these. They're not expensive, but it will help you isolate those small leaks that can drive you crazy. And you could save a considerable amount of money by not buying the wrong parts. Now I'm going to put a link in the show more below this video that'll take you right to this tester on my website. This is the top of an Airmatic strut in a W212. This is an E550. And it has a very slow leak in the right front. Now we're talking like maybe dropping down an inch in 1 to 2 weeks, depending upon where you park the car. If it's colder, it drops a little bit quicker. Sometimes it doesn't drop very much at all. So what's the problem? Do we have a leak in the fittings? Do we have a leak in the line? Do we have a problem with the valve block? Is there a leak in the strut? A lot of people will say, oh, I'm just going to replace the strut and I'm just going to replace everything. Well, not necessarily do you have to do that. You can do some troubleshooting, and that's what we're going to do today. The W212 is a little bit different than the W220 or the W221. Look, if you pull this cover off, this might surprise some of you. We've got 3 fittings in here. So we have 3 potential locations for little teeny leaks, and I'm going to bring in the better bubble. And as you saw in a previous video, I like to use the Q-tip to put it right where I want it, and you'll get bubbles showing up right away. Okay, take a look at when we were testing the W220. I mean, it's just bubbling all over the place, and we'll just make sure. Okay, all right, look at that. We don't have one bubble. The reason they call this better bubble, because it produces better bubbles than you can imagine. So the leak's not here. Next step, I will bring in my special tester, which I build here in my shop. I offer this to you people who own these Airmatics. This is one of the best ways to troubleshoot for leaks. So we're going to let the pressure out very slowly here. We're not going to test here, we're going to test here, just to make sure we don't have a problem here. We're testing the strut. So we want to remove this fitting. We're going to remove it very slowly. Let's slowly let the air out, and then we'll hook up the tester. This is very important. Before you let the air out of your strut, you want to support the jack point. Keep the car from falling all the way down. We're only going to lose the right front here. So I've got this supported with blocks of wood. When I let the air out of that strut, it's going to come down and solidly sit on these blocks. The tester's hooked up, and before I apply compressed air, I just want you to see the stance. And you can see, we have almost no clearance here at the top of the fender. I've hooked up the compressed air, but the valve's off. Now I'm going to open the valve. We'll probably get 85 to 90 pounds here now. There we go. Let's see if it comes up at all. Look at that. It's coming up. Okay, we'll give it a couple more seconds here. You can see it doesn't take the full pressure because it operates on over 150 psi, but I found if you get it up to 90 to 100 psi, that's enough to do the test. It's enough to raise the car. So now I'm going to look at the time. It's almost 3:45, and we're going to shut the valve off, and we can disconnect the air. Okay, we'll go do some other things, and we're going to see if this holds pressure. All right, it's been 25 minutes, and it's gone down 1 pound. Now, you do need to be careful about these rubber bladders in these struts. I found that sometimes they roll underneath like this, and there's a crack in the rubber, and it takes movement to get them to leak. It'll actually seal its leak, so it'll be intermittent. So what I do is I come back in 20, 30 minutes. I'm going to just bounce up and down on this thing a little bit. You can see the pressure moving. Okay, now the other thing you have to be real careful of, if you have a leak anywhere in here in the tester, then this test is null and void. Now, I pressure tested this tester and put it in water. It doesn't leak. But just to be sure, I'm going to go grab the better bubble. I want to make absolute sure that this tester is not leaking nor the fitting. So we'll put some better bubble here. We'll put some here. Just going to put it right around in here. See if there's any leaks. Okay, we have no leaks in the tester. So if this goes down, it's approaching 2 pounds now. We're going to come back in another half hour, and we'll see if this leaks off a little bit. Cut. Take a look at the needle now. It's almost at 90 psi, so we've dropped another approximately 6 psi. So the leak is so slow, that's probably why it takes a week or so to leak down. And I think what happened after I got over here a little while ago, you know, I was pushing up and down, and it kind of woke up the leak. But you can see now, it's 4:20, so it's been almost 35 minutes, and we've lost, 6 psi. I could leave this sitting overnight, but I know the strut has 107,000 miles on it, so and it has not been changed. So I'm just going to replace the strut right now. But this is a real help if you're troubleshooting small or slow leaks in your Airmatic Mercedes. If you're going to all the work to replace the Airmatic struts on your car, there are a couple other things that you consider replacing, especially if the car has around 100,000 miles. And one of them is the leveling sensor, or they call these headlight sensors, but they're really Airmatic leveling sensors, and they wear out. The ride height won't stay correct. The other thing is always replace the anti-sway bar links. There's a lot of movement over 100,000 miles. And then, not to be overlooked, when you have this out, make sure you check all the bushings in your upper and lower control arms, because also at 100,000 miles, those will start to wear out, and you'll start to get clunking in your front or rear end.